Welcome to Form 1 Mathematics, DLP, Chapter 1, Rational Number, 1.5, Rational Number. Okay, so in this part of the lesson, we are going to learn how to solve problem involving rational numbers. Shall we start? Okay, so let's look at the first example. So Noria has a saving of 120 ringgit. She donates 3/8 of a saving to the flood victims. She then buys a pair of shoes for 25 ringgit 60 cents. Calculate the balance she still has. Right, so let's look at the information given. Okay, number 1, I know that she has a saving. That means the money is hers. Okay, of 120 ringgit. Okay, so she donates means giving away. Okay, 3/8 of her saving. And then she buys. That means the money goes away again for 25 ringgit 60 cents. So after donating and spending that much money, we want to know how much she still has. Right? So let's arrange our information. So she has 120 ringgit, 3/8, which we don't know how much, okay, of 120 ringgit. From that, she also buys a shoes, which is 25 ringgit and 60 cents. Now we want to know how much she has left. So first we need to know how much is the 3/8 of her saving. So number 1 is the amount of money, okay, that she donates. Okay, so 3/3. So multiply with 120. Okay. So you can use calculator to calculate, and you should be able to get RM 45 ringgit. So she donates 45 ringgit. And we also know that she uses 25 ringgit and 60 cents. So now we want to know what is her balance. Okay, balance means how much money she still has. So initial 120 ringgit minus with the 45 ringgit that she donates, and also minus with the 25 ringgit that she has spent. Alright, so this one is all minus, so we don't have any other, so we are going to go straight and calculate this answer. Okay, you should be able to get RM 49 ringgit and 40 cents. Okay, even though we are learning rational numbers, okay, remember we don't have fraction for money. Okay, we leave our answer like this. Okay, let's look at the second example. Okay, the question is longer, so let's look at the question first, then we are going to break it down one by one. Okay, Razif has a rope. A part of the rope is used to tie 15 boxes. Each box needs 2.56 meter of rope. 1/3 of the remaining rope is cut into 6 parts. The length of each part is 1 1/4 meter. Right, calculate the actual length of the rope. Right, so we're going to break it one by one. Number 1, we know that Razif has a rope. Okay, excuse my drawing. Okay, let's assume this is a rope. Now it says that a part of the rope is used to tie 15 boxes. So I'm going to assume somewhere here that this part of the rope, I'm going to split it into the A part and the B part. Okay, so the A part of the rope is going to be used for 15 boxes. Now I know that, okay, each box uses 5 2.56 meter of rope. So how much would 15 boxes needed? Okay, so I know that one is 2.56 meter and there are 15 boxes that we need to tie. Alright, so let's take out your calculator and calculate that. Okay, you should be able to get 38.4 meter. Okay, 38.4 meter. Okay, the second part of the question is, the second part of the information is, it says that a third of the remaining rope, which is in my diagram is the B part, okay, is cut into 6 pieces. So I'm going to take another color so that we don't confuse ourselves. Okay, assuming that this is a third of the now that one is missing. Okay, assuming that this is a third of the part B, that is cut into 6 sections. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And each part is actually 1 1/4. So we want to know how much is that 6 parts. Alright, so 1 1/4 multiply with 6 parts. Right? So when I multiply that one, I should be able to get 7.5 meter for that 1/3. Okay, so it means that this one has the length of 1.5 meter. Now I still have one part of the rope that we haven't calculated yet, which is the leftover of this one. So because this is a third, okay, a third means that I still have the remaining 2/3. Okay, I still have the remaining 2/3 of the rope. So we're going to find out what is the length of the B section. Okay, the remaining of the B section. So instead of calculating 2/3 of the remaining part B, I'm going to calculate the length of part B of the rope, which is 1.5 multiplied with 3, because there are 3 parts in part B. Okay, so if you do it correctly, you should be able to get 22.5 meter. So the question says, what is the actual length, which is the original length before it was being used. So the actual length means I need to total up the A part of the rope plus the B part of the rope. Okay, so the A part of the rope, we already know that it is 38.4 meter, and the part B of the rope is 22.5 meter. So if you total both of them together, you should be able to get 60.9 meter. Okay, you can leave your answer like this. If you wish, you can also change it into mixed fraction. Okay. Alright, so if it's a mixed fraction, it should be, alright, I'm going to write or 69/10. Okay, so depending of this, depend on the question. You can leave it at 60.9 meter, or you can leave it at 69/10 meter. Alright. Now let's move on to example 3. Now I'm going to give you some time for you to look at the question and try this part of the question. Now if you wish, you can pause the video so that you try the question before I reveal the final answer to you. Alright, shall we discuss this question? Let's hope that you get the question correct. Now let's look at the question. Point B moves 16.5 centimeter to the north and 19.7 centimeter to the south. Then it moves 11.5 centimeter and 2.6 centimeter to the north. The final movement of point B is 5.5 centimeter to the south. Explain the movement of the point in diagram. Hence, calculate the distance and the direction so that the point stops at its original position. So if you see that point B moves a lot, one moment at north and another moment at the south. So the question asks you to explain the movement in a diagram form, right? So we need to somewhere to start. So assuming that point B starts here. Alright. If you know that north goes up, okay, north goes up, while the south goes down. Okay, so it says 16.5 centimeter towards the north, and then from there on, which I'm going to move it here, okay, assuming that this is a parallel line, okay, it's going to move 19.7 centimeter to the south. Right, I'm going to draw another parallel line again since it's going to move to the north. This time it's going to move to the north first at 11.5 centimeter, and then it moves north again at 2.6 centimeter. Okay, so the final movement is 5.5 to the south. So I'm going to do another parallel line since it changes direction. Now this time it moves to the south. Okay, so the final point of point B is this one, and it's 5.5 centimeter to the south. Okay, so this is how you explain the movement of point B in a diagram form. Okay, the second part of the question says calculate the distance and the direction. Alright, so I'm going to assume that the north is a positive direction and the south is the negative direction. Now I'm going to add negative for any movements that is going towards the south. Okay, and I'm going to leave the number going to the north as a positive number. Now if I want to know the distance, I need to total up the distance. Okay, so the distance, going to go for a total 16.5 plus negative 19.7 plus 11.5 plus 2.6 minus plus negative 5.5. Have you calculated the answer? Alright, you should be able to get 5.4 centimeter. So 5.4 is a positive number. So it says the direction. So I'm going to give the direction because it's a positive. I'm going to give it as 5.4 centimeter. Let me arrange this sentence again. Point B, okay, is 5.4 centimeter north of the initial point, okay, or the original position. Okay, so did you get it right? I hope you did. So if you did, well done. If you did not, don't be discouraged, and hopefully this helps you to learn even better. So before we end this chapter, let's look at the summary of chapter 1. What have you learned so far? So in chapter 1, which is rational number, first you learn about integers, where you learn about positive integers, the zeros, and the negative integers. And then you learn about fraction. Same thing, you learn about positive fraction and negative fraction. So in fraction, remember, denominator cannot be 0. Next, you learn about decimals. So decimals, you have positive decimals and negative decimal. So all in all, these are known as rational numbers. Then you learn about commutative law, associative law, distributive law, and identity law. Lastly, while we are calculating, remember that to use BODMAS. Always check if there is any bracket that has operation inside, followed by divide or multiply, lastly addition or subtraction. So this is a summary what you have learned throughout chapter 1. Okay, so I hope that you already learned something new, and if you have any parts of the section of this lesson that you do not understand or you have trouble understanding, make sure to look back at the previous video. Alright, for this part of the question, this part of the section, you can try the following exercises, and you can have your teacher to go with you if you wish. And this is all for chapter 1. I'll see you again in the next lesson. Stay safe.